Hi and hello everyone. Welcome back to the PMP exam. So far, we have covered the exam overview, the latest updates in the exam, introduction to the project management, and we have covered two of major knowledge areas, and their associated processes. So let us focus on one of the major and very important knowledge areas, the project schedule management. So let's quickly jump right into it. Project schedule management. So this knowledge area is all about the processes that are required to manage the on-time completion of the project. So if we start linking the processes that are within this knowledge area to the process groups, they are grouped only in two of five process groups. These processes, they are present only in process groups called planning and monitoring and controlling. So why is this information important here? Whenever we work on any knowledge area or a process of the knowledge area, when we have clarity on what is happening in that process, we will spend our energy working only towards that goal. So now we know that this process that I'm learning now or I'm going to learn, they are not related to execution and are majorly focused on planning. So we have to understand that this project schedule management has no task related to execution process. So if I get a question in the exam that and I have two ambiguous answers, and one of the answers says, okay, talk something about execution and something else talks about just the planning, then we can omit the answer that talks about the execution part. So this kind of preparation, it will actually help us eliminate the possibility of answering wrong. So I hope this tip helps. So let's dig in and see what we get today. So we have earlier defined the project scope where a set of requirements are required to be converted to deliverables. So now the project scheduling helps us as a tool by providing a plan about how and when those requirements will deliver the product or process or the result. So there are two main scheduling methods that we must learn for our exam. First thing is going to be critical path method, or famously called as the CPM. And second one is going to be the agile approach, right? So I consider that you all know what a critical path method is, or for those who don't know, let me quickly use the space that we have here. So it's like you have multiple activities designed. These are the six activities, for example, and we have a start and then we have a finish. So against each activity, we assign a time to it, right? So activity A, 12 days, activity B, 15 days, something like that. And then the path which takes us the most number of days to reach the finish. So it could be this way or it could be this way. So that path is called the critical path method. So just keep that in mind. So, and for those who don't know what a bar chart is, that is also quite important. Actually, the schedule itself is quite often represented as a bar chart. Again, I'll make use of this space that we have here. This is a huge chart that you might have seen in your organizations. On the left, we will be having the list of activities. And then in the vertical column, you have all the months. And then for each activity, we will have the timelines decided, right? So whoever has worked in at least one of the project, you might be easily able to relate this chart. So on the left column, we have all the activities listed, and all other columns, we have the timeline. So this is called the bar chart. It's a very famous tool that we are going to use and that we are going to learn and discuss about in this presentation. So before we move on to the explanation again, and I also want you all to understand the latest trends in this project schedule management. Instead of just the traditional methods, it is important for the exam that what are the latest trends that we have, because in this total lesson we are focusing only on the exam point of view. You have to understand what is an iterative scheduling. So when we say iterative scheduling, it's completely the agile methodology, right? It's a newly added syllabus, and please expect a question in it. Agile method, one question for sure. So what is this iterative scheduling method? Traditionally, a product is made in a single path, and then a planning happens and then this product timeline is updated again, right? You can see there is one single iteration, but in the agile method, what happens? We will have one more iteration, that is the second iteration, and this is usually done in a shorter iterations, like 1 week sprint, 2 week sprint, 3 week sprint, and sometimes even daily, right? So this one is considered as 1 week sprint, and then two is considered as daily sprint. So what happens here is we keep on getting the feedback. So here we have a feedback, and then every day we have a feedback, and the weekly feedback is taken, and the project schedule gets updated accordingly. So as you can see, these things are in the shape of rolling waves, and that is why this is called a rolling wave tool, right? Or rolling wave method of scheduling, right? So this is a very important thing. You don't have to memorize this, but just keep this in mind. This kind of image will be shown in one of your questions, and then that means they're asking about the agile method. And second important tool in the agile itself, because we are talking about the trends, is the Kanban board. Kanban board, what does it mean? It's nothing but in the first column, we list down all the activities with the help of a sticky note or something like this. This could either be a physical board or a common OneNote, or even some nice tools are also there like Jira. All these project scheduling tools, they help us to list down the tasks first. These are all backlogs. First backlogs are listed, and then column one we will have to do, right? So what is this to do? The Scrum Master reviews the list of tasks every day, and then he decides from the backlog, today we are going to do one task. Or if we have 10 tasks, the Scrum Master will decide that we will do 3 tasks today. So from this to do that is selected at the start of the sprint, when I say sprint, it could be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it could even be just 1 week. So it's typically between 1 to 4 weeks sprint. So on that first day of this sprint, he will decide that, okay, now we have decided that for this sprint, we will finish just 10 tasks, right? So in to do, it is just those decided tasks, but if they are done actually, they will be in progress, right? So out of the list of 10 tasks that we have identified as to do, whatever tasks have been started by the team, they will move to in progress. So there could be one more column that is called blocked, or testing, or under progress. You can add all those columns, and finally the column will be closed. Last column will be closed, right? So at the end of the sprint, how many tasks are to do? Let, for example, 10, and at the end of the sprint, we have 9 tasks closed. So the remaining one task, what will happen? It will either go to backlog, or it will be taken into the next sprint, right? So this kind of Kanban tooling is also an emerging latest trend, right? We don't have much details explained about this in the PMBOK guide. It is just a few lines about it, but these are the emerging trends which are also coming out of the PMP exam. So be aware that there are 2 latest trends in this project schedule management, very, very important. In agile, questions will definitely come, and also the Kanban board questions are going to come, right? So today we are going to learn all these 6 important processes: planning the schedule management, defining the activities, sequence of the activities, estimating the activity durations, developing schedule, and controlling schedule. Okay.